And dog mom has been arrested after she filmed herself having sex with her pet chihuahua before sharing the sickening videos with her 15,000 Instagram followers. 27-year-old Logan Gominski was charged with sexual activity involving an animal and filming sexual activity involving an animal, both felonies. Back in January, officials received information from an anonymous tip that Gominski posted a video to Instagram depicting sexual activity with a dog. Authorities then found several photos and videos of Gominski with the abused animal. According to a statement from police, she admitted to creating and sharing the video with another social media user who requested it and paid $500, and that she had been involved in sexual activity with another dog, and the videos of both incidents were still stored on her cell phone. Gominski was released on a $10,000 bond and, according to court documents, is due to appear in court for an arraignment hearing on April 22nd. A Florida influencer and dog mom has been arrested after she filmed herself having sex with her pet chihuahua before
Shalom, shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Yahweh being true name for the Father, Yahushai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us truth and will, and salutations to Jehovah, elect, pushing this truth and all honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh. Continue to listen to the Spirit power, Yahweh Yahushai. Another update in times and events. There's this news report that came out. As you can see, this woman on the screen was arrested for having relations with a dog, a chihuahua at that. And it's just disgusting, man. This is what Esau Edom likes to do, you know. And in the dark web, you know, they have stuff like this out there. You know, people having relations with animals. And this thing was, you know, it's not old. They did this all the way back during the time of Noah. You know, it was one of the reasons why the earth had to be flooded, because of the wickedness that was going on. You know, so people are just sick and twisted. And there's law, statute, commandments on all this type of stuff. And this is definitely not lawful. And it shouldn't even be desirable. You know, here it is, this woman. It guarantees she's out here proud and curving actual men, but yet you're letting the dog do some stuff to you, and then you're posting on the internet. It's gross, man. But this is the world that we're living in. You know, people are sick and twisted, and yet a woman like this, you know, could be doing stuff like this behind closed doors and go around and mess around with somebody else, and who knows, all types of parasites is up inside of her, man, behind doing shit like this with animals. But there's information out there that, you know, you have people that do stuff with horses, and, you know, the nasty, disgusting white men doing stuff with pigs. It's just sick. But this is why this man needs to be put in chains and captivity, man. This is the base man, the lowest heritage created on earth is an Edomite. And this is Esau, the devil, man. This is the book of Leviticus 18 and 23. It says, "Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her." Okay, so that goes into, you know, stealing another man's woman. You know, men sleeping with a married woman. The adultery, you know, cheating. You know, the women stepping out on their men. It says, "And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am Yahweh. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination." So, you know, men being with men, women being with women, that type of behavior is an abomination according to scriptures. There's reasons for everything. Okay. Verse 23 says, "Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled. Therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants." So These actions have just made this whole nation defiled, man. This whole country is polluted behind these type of acts. It says, ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations. Neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. So even the heathen are not supposed to be doing these things. Our people, number one, this message is written to our people to not be doing this stuff. But also to include the strangers as well. Other people, other nations among us, around us, are not supposed to be doing it. So she's going to be, judged and put to death behind that. The Lord's going to do away with her and anybody else that's doing those types of acts. Leviticus 20. Okay. We'll start at verse 13. It says, if a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So all this rainbow parade, alphabet community, and you got these men, raping men in jail and stuff like that. That's an abomination. And the Lord said, they shall be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, and there be no wickedness among you. Now look at this shit. Another abomination. We just read this. You're not supposed to do it. It says, the caption says, yes, I'm the guy that got her mom pregnant too. So he dealt with the daughter, and that's all he should have dealt with. And he laid down with the mom. And he's standing there, and they're both standing there fucking happy about the shit. They got her and her pregnant. You see? So this dude is definitely set for judgment. Jake is wicked, man. They're overly sexualized in the society. This place is definitely Sodom and Gomorrah reborn. I'll read that again. It says, verse 14, and if a man take a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. And they shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, and there be no wickedness among you. That's why, they use that word Faggot. That means to burn a bundle of sticks. And the person you put on a bundle of sticks is a man that likes to lay with a man, a woman that likes to lay with a woman. A man laying with the mom and the daughter. All these on that list is supposed to be burned with fire. It says, and if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. But yet, all they're going to do is fucking put charges and give her with a felony. They're not executing the law. If you make an example of these people and execute them the way the scriptures say, you're not going to have stuff like this happening. I mean, you still might have it. You're still going to have demonic, spirits out there, but it's going to happen much less. And, and there's a whole state in the United States that actually condones this behavior. Look, I'll show you the map. Here's an article that says map shows one state where bestiality isn't banned. Look at this. It's West Virginia. Okay, so this type of stuff is allowed there. So she could move to West Virginia and do as much videos and stuff all she want, and it's going to be allowed in this country for her to do it as long as she lives in that specific state. Like, what the fuck? That's sick, man. So who knows how many Edomites out there living in that state is doing this shit, because it's not banned at all. It's Leviticus 17. And if a man shall take his sister and his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He have uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. So it ain't right, it's not righteous for a man to lay down with a sister at all. It says, if man shall lie with a woman having a sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he discover her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. That's another thing. When a woman's on her cycle, that's why you're supposed to have the law of separation. And women, you guys know when that time of the month is coming, you're supposed to say something. But they got that whole culture, fuck her on a rag and shit like that, where men do that shit purposely, and it's wicked, man. There's laws of separation. There's reasons for it, because you can get diseases and illnesses behind this stuff. Why do you think the AIDS virus is so rampant, and HIV? That comes from living in that type of behavior. And you get all sorts of diseases from animals and stuff laying down with them. So this type of stuff, man, this is what runs rampant in Babylon the Great. This is Job chapter 30, verse 1. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom the old age perish. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief. So this is talking about Esau, Edom. And the scriptures also say he was made a vagabond. He's a proud man and never keepeth at home. He doesn't really have a home. They were kicked out at one point. All the nations hated this dude. It says, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And you look at over there, that place in Petra, that's basically, clefts in the rocks and caves. That's where their natural place is supposed to be. It says, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Okay? So this is viler than the earth, the base men, the lowest of the lowest, Esau, Edom. And that's why she's laying down with a chihuahua like that. And you got their men doing the same shit. You got grown Edomite men popping pigs and goats. And other heathen nations do that shit. Them Arabs over there, it's heard that they be doing that stuff with goats and stuff, man. It's just sick. The place is sick, bro. This is Hebrews chapter 12 in the NIV. Verse 15 says, see to it that no one falls short of the grace of Yahweh, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. See that no one is sexually immoral or godless like Esau, who for one single meal sold his inheritance rights as the oldest son. Afterward, as you know, when he wanted to inherit this blessing, he was rejected. Even though he sought the blessings with tears, he could not change what he had done. So, you see, there's nobody as sexually immoral or godless as Esau, Edom. So they do the worst of the worst acts when it comes to sexual shit. The incest runs rampant among them. Laying down with animals. And they're obsessed with killing and blood. So they're into making these horror movies like Saw and Hostel, and there's these creepy ass, really dark, gory movies about torturing somebody to death and killing. And you have Edomites that literally get sexually aroused by watching that stuff, because they are born wicked, and they love death and the blood and the sword. This is why you stay clear from them, man. And they be on the news talking about some crazy off-the-wall stuff they done did to their own kids, chopped them up and put them in freezers or ate them, and, or molesting them, all sorts of shit, man. Molest runs rampant among Edomites and Edomite homes. It's very common. So those rules, lessons, edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, Natasha's truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful like person's truth and honesty and sincerity. Shalom.